Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the United Kingdom. And today I thought we'd have a bit of a play with some new products, Magical Meadow, that are coming out in the September to December catalogue. And you'll see here, I've also combined it with the lovely Snowflake topper punch. Let me if I can angle that in the light so you can see it. There you go. Okay. And so this is just a little gift box with some tea lights in. This time of year I often give sort of tea lights as a little little gift, and this just holds sort of 6 of the fairly slim ones. You can I kind of get them in a pack of, I don't know, about 18 or 20 or so, and I've just used the tag top punch to close over. Very simple. It's another of my 6x6. All you need is one piece of 6x6 paper, although this actually comes in 12x12 paper. Winter Meadow 12x12. So you have this lovely one here, which is, you get a scene with the trees and the stags all across one end and then reversed at the far end. You get that lovely paper there with this winter berries, with lovely salt effect paper on the other side. A trees, and that obviously coordinates with the stamp you've got there as well, and this sort of snowy background. This paper, which is the one I'm going to use, because I just feel it doesn't shout Christmas. Again, salt effect, more trees, and then this one is a beautiful spray that I ought to show you in its entirety. Here we go, which is this one here, which is just beautiful, as you can see, as all the papers are. They are lovely papers, and beautiful stamps that go with it as well, because the stamps are the distinctive stamps, so you get that beautiful textured effect as well. So I'm going to use some of that paper, all sorts of colours in there from, what have we got? We've got Blueberry Bushel, Garden Green, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Pebble Path, Pretty Peacock, Shady Spruce and Smoky Slate. I haven't done my card samples yet to go with that. I just haven't had the time, but I will do. So Magical Meadow stamp set. You've got lovely foliage, and again these kind of winter sort of, you know, statements that could be used for things other than Christmas. So that's what we've done. And yes, the ribbon I used in this instance actually is the Sweet Sorbet ribbon, and I shall probably use the equivalent Orchid Oasis ribbon, because I think that's going to match well with the Blueberry Bushel. Okay. So our DSP, it's not quite 6x6. So if you've got 6x6, you're going to need to trim it down. So we've got this, you want it 6 inches in the one direction, and then you want it at 14.6 centimetres in the other direction. And on that short edge there, so I've got my shorter edge at the top, you're going to score at 2.8. I have done this in inches. I will put the dimensions in the description box below below this video on YouTube. So 6.8, 9.6, and then 13.6. And then turn it through. Doesn't matter which way around, because this is not directional. And you're going to score at 2.8 again. And at 14.3. There we go. So, once we've done that, burnish our score lines. God, I went silent there, didn't I? It looks like you forget your videoing. Okay, let's reinforce those. Okay, so now you're going to want a couple of bits of cardstock. So you just want a couple of scraps. This one piece is 11 by 4 centimetres, and the piece of white is 3.5 by 4, and I'm just going to score this at 1 centimetre and 3.8. Now, this punch is designed for a 2-inch piece. This obviously is 5 centimetres, this is slightly smaller, but it does work just as well because you can pop that in and line it up either between these two marks on the inside there, or you can turn it over and do it. This is one that is best punched out flat though, rather than on your hand, so I would recommend lining it up on the front if you can. So there we've got our little tag. This piece is going to sit on the top here and just give us a little layer on the top. And to colour that in, I thought I'd use one of the Magical Meadow stamps and our Winter Wishes, and I'm actually going to use some of our new markers. So the markers have been, the colours are the same, but the markers have been redesigned. So rather than that narrow point, we've now got a proper bullet tip, which is much better for adding some detail in. I'm just going to pop my, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to colour in using my brush end those kind of berries. And I'm going to take my my garden green here and just colour in those stems, and the brush tips are great for doing this. And then this is where I think these new bullet tips, that one's not a new bullet tip, that's one of the older ones. So if you've got existing markers, you can buy just the new colours as well, which is what I did, which is why my garden green is the old type, actually, which I can show you, which is this really narrow that kind of just does a little line, and then the newer bullet tip, which obviously is a thicker line, much better. I think it is much better. So those are the new, and there you go, and they're slightly they're the same length, but the barrel's slightly longer, the lids are slightly shorter. There you go. Anyway, I'm going to huff on this. That reactivates the ink, but I don't want it full strength, so I'm going to stamp it once, and then I'm going to stamp it again on my little piece, and that just gives a kind of a slight, almost a more of a watercolour effect. I'm then going to grab, not my Misty Moonlight, I'm going to grab my blueberry bushel, and I've got my Winter Wishes stamp here, so I'm just going to stamp that over the top there, and because it's a nice dark colour, it's going to stand out well on that. I'm going to pop that to one side while that dries. We can go back to creating our box. Okay, so you've got this box which has got this little narrow section at the top, you've got a bigger section at the bottom. With the bigger section, you're just going to cut away straight up at the bottom and just notch it slightly on the side as well. And I'm going to notch out the top and just trim that very top. Now with these top sections, I'm going to just notch out all the way along the top, and what these are going to do is just reinforce the top. Obviously it's DSP, it's not quite as strong as card, but by folding this inside it will just reinforce it a little bit, make sure it's not going to fall apart or tear. And then on the bottom, notch out your tabs, but cut straight up on those longer sections. So you should end up with something that looks like this. So you've got 2 straight sections and 2 notched out ones. There you go, it might be easy to see like that. Okay, and at the top here. So 3 of these I'm actually going to glue down now while it's flat. So this is going to fold over and join here, so I'm just going to run my seal down there, fold that over and in the opposite direction as well, just to make sure it's nice and square. And that seam is going to go at the back. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold the two sides in like so, fold that back flap, and then your glue is going to go there, and that's going to just glue nice and square. The reason I didn't glue that first flap is because I'm going to use that to just go over where our join is, like so. So now what we've got is a little open-ended box. I'm just going to take the edge off those slightly. And I'm going to grab my Seal Plus, and I'm going to put my Seal Plus on the end there, and just make sure you haven't got any sticking out, and I'm going to fold it and pop it on the edge. Like so. Burnish that one, and you'll see there you've just got a nice little flap to go over the top. So I can add my layer. I probably should have done that before I put it on while it was still flat, but that's okay. We can make that work. There's our winter wishes. And then all I'm going to do is, as I grab my ribbon, so I'm just sort of going to measure that, so sort of twice the length, 3 times the length to give me enough to tie a bow. Pop your candles in. I hadn't got any blue ones, so these ones I thought were rather nice. There we go. Oh, and what I've actually done is, okay, so I've stuck that on before I put my ribbon on. So a little hint here. Grab your heat tool and heat that up. And that should then, you see that's just lifting away there really easily. So I can now pop my ribbon through. So, quick extra loop here. There. So now I can put some more seal back on here and pop that. So that was why I didn't put it. I knew there's a reason why I didn't put it on first while it was flat. There you go. So if you put it on while it's flat, just make sure you pop your ribbon through first. If not, you're grabbing your heat tool. And there we have it. So there we have our pretty pair of Tealight boxes using 6x6 paper with our magical meadow. And if you'd like to purchase any items, pop along to Stampin' Up, choose me as your demonstrator, Heidi Smith, or use my current host code, and that will automatically allow you to shop with me. And I'd really appreciate it if you supported me as a demonstrator. And let me have, do allow contact, because then I can send you my thank you gift and card in the post. Thanks for watching. Bye now.